Then we have Green Lantern, okay? Ryan Reynolds portrays Hal Jordan, the test pilot, who sees an alien ship crash land, and the alien inside is wearing a green emerald suit, and he is actually part of the Green Lantern Corps, an intergalactic police corps that is stationed all over the universe. And Earth is the only place where there is not a Green Lantern warrior. And so the alien has a power ring that has found one who is without fear, and that is the test pilot Hal Jordan. And he passes on the power ring to Hal Jordan. And now when Hal Jordan presses the power ring against the lantern and recites the sacred oath, "In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light." The lantern is then transmitting the power into the ring, and using his willpower, Hal Jordan, as Green Lantern, can now externalize his thoughts and do whatever is necessary, create any shape in order to rescue any damsel in distress and also right any wrongs. Blake Lively portrays his romantic interest, a very independent, liberated woman who is then stunned when she learns that her ex-boyfriend has become the Green Lantern. This is also a very well done film. Some of my colleagues in the print medium were not that kind to it, but this also has a nice, what Aldous Huxley called a nice, rich mixed feeding of drama, comedic elements, sensitivity, and it has what Nathaniel Branden called psychological realism. When Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan is first confronted by these new powers, he is in somewhat of a combination of bewilderment and mockery. So he handles the transition very well, very realistically. So I would also give this 1, 2, 3, 4 Paglia paw prints of approval. Then we have Nosferatu, all right, the Lyric Hall in Westville is now showing classic silent films, and Nosferatu was a silent vampire film made in 1922. Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula, passed away, and his widow would not give the German filmmakers permission to do Dracula. So they wanted to do a film, and so they did. Nosferatu, the Romanian word for the undead. And the vampire was Count Orlok, who had pointed ears and talon-like hands, and he looks like a human bat. And he purchases a home right across the street from a character named Hutter, who is the agent intermediary, the real estate agent, to make the Count Orlok acquire the home. He then ventures from Transylvania into the German town, and the home he has purchased is right across the street from Hutter's wife. And of course, he then makes plans to make Hutter's wife his blood sacrifice. This is a classic film made 89 years ago that shows all of the techniques that were available at that time. Nosferatu was remade by Werner Herzog in the 1970s in color with Klaus Kinski. Now, of course, it was a sound film, And then some years later, Shadow of the Vampire was done with Willem Dafoe portraying the actor Max Schreck, who portrayed Count Orlok, only they do a twist in it and make the actor Max Schreck a real vampire who's willing to do the movie so long as his leading lady will become his blood sacrifice. So if you get a chance, you should see that trilogy. Nosferatu in the silent classic version, Nosferatu the remake in the 1970s, and Shadow of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe and John Malkovich. That's a triple header that can't be beat. So if you get a chance, see those three. And finally, we have Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz portraying a very unmotivated high school teacher of English who is obsessed with trying to get money so she can have cosmetic surgery and enhance her upper torso. So she will do anything to get the money in order to pay for the operation. And her class seems to be just gliding along while she shows movies. Then when she learns that there's a prize for a car wash, she dresses up like Daisy Duke from the Dukes of Hazzards and draws lots of male motorists to have their car washed and gets a ton of money. Then she learns that if her class scores the highest on an academic achievement test, she gets a big cash prize. So now she becomes very strict and prompts the class to do their utmost, even if it means compromising one of the test coordinators in order to get her eyes on that test before it's administered. This film, artistically, is not necessarily that good, but from an industrial perspective, Cameron Diaz still looks terrific and certainly has many commercially marketable physical features that will keep her in movies for quite some time. So Bad Teacher doesn't get an A, probably a C minus. I would give it 2.5 Paglia paw prints of approval, okay? That's Bad Teacher. And that's it for this edition of The Movie Man. I'd like to thank Hugo and the rest of the crew who have been my atlases who do not shrug. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning into this edition of The Movie Man. I'm Bob Paglia, your Movie Man. I will see you in another edition of The Movie Man.